And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Race 15 of Season 6 of the NNSCRA Oreo Truck Series. We are live here across the pond in France, as we are at I believe this is our second road course stop of the season. We are here at the French track of Elysees for the running of the Wikipedia 255. On the pole for today's race is going to be Bob Jones. This is, I believe, his second pole of the season. And he really needs a good run now. He's 19th in points, and if he could get himself a win today, maybe even a top 5 finish, we could see him just outside of the top 10 in points, as he's been having a pretty good season so far in that Toyota Tundra. Alongside of him, a driver who has not been having good luck, and that's Sean Galligan, a driver who has really been doing a lot of dominating performances in the past few seasons in the Truck Series, back when he drove the 77, back when he drove this Blue Deuce in Season 5. But this season's just not been going his way. Galligan currently is 32nd in the point standings, and the bad luck, of course, continued last week when he was out front leading and had to pit with about 5 laps to go. So, you know, Sean is really needing some good luck to come his way. Maybe, just maybe, it'll happen here today at Champs-Élysées. He's still looking for his first win of the season, as well as he has had multiple win seasons many times in his Truck Series career. Pichu London, another driver who really needs to get his season turned around. 29th in points is where he is, but he's got himself a nice qualifying position for this evening's race. And alongside of him, Andy Timmons, who has been doing a very good job in the rookie season here in the 23. Currently 17th in points right now, has had a few bumps in the road lately, but looking to bounce back here today at the road course of Champs-Élysées, with Prince Littlejohn completing the top 5. Now, Prince Littlejohn, oh no, I'm sorry, that's not Prince Littlejohn, that's the 18 of Alex May, rather, and he's completing the top 5. Alex May came in mid-season, currently wired way down in 45th in points, but looking for a good run here today for the Joe Gibbs Racing Team. The way the points look right now coming into today's race are as follows. Brian James comes in with a 14-point advantage over Trent Dunham, and Brian is actually rolling off from the 8th position. Not sure where Trent's rolling off from, so Trent may have a little bit of work to do if he's going to try and run down Brian James and take the points lead today. James McLeod comes into this race 3rd in points. The 3-time winner still hanging tough. Dylan Poteet, his teammate, behind him in 4th. 5th place is going to be Dougie Shears, who I believe is going to be rolling off from the 14th position here today. Chris Dollerton, 2-time winner this season and defending champ, will be 6th in points. 7th is Charles Jackson, Prince Littlejohn in 8th. 9th place, Dylan Young, and 10th is Nick Bellardo. A couple drivers to keep an eye on that are going to be trying to race their way into the top 10 here today, as that top 10 spot is so critical with the chase possibly, well, not possibly, but that chase coming ever so closer. Sean Henley is 11th in points, Lyndon Wright 12th, Austin LaPlante up to 13th, William Duncan 14th, and Jacob Lawler is 15th in the points. Danny Wells, last week's winner, 16th in points and rolling off from 12th place. Time to get these cars rolling off. We got an 18-lap event on tap here today. We'll see what driver is going to be able to tackle this very tricky road course and be able to capture the win here today. There they all go, rolling off of pit road. There's Trent Dunham. He's going to be starting mid-pack, so he's got a little work to do to try and catch up to Brian James, but 18 laps doesn't seem like much, but at a road course, that could be actually quite a bit of time for a driver to be able to make something happen. So here is your 42 car starting lineup for today's Wikipedia 255 at Champs-Élysées. And I will tell you guys right off that in this race, we are going to be having the black bars on both the top and the bottom due to the fact that at this track, when they get to this part heading into the final corner, they go back behind grandstands and we're not able to see them. So I'm going to be switching camera angles quite a bit here today, so hope you'll bear with me. I do try and keep those top and bottom bars off, but We're going to have him on here as well as the ticker is. Here we go. Time to get these cars underway. They're going to come down here. 18 laps of racing here today at Elysees, and the green flag is waving. We're underway in our second road course race of the season. Here they come into the first left-hander. We've seen drivers break 3 wide here before, and they're going to do it again. Brian James back there is going to go 3 wide in the middle. They did settle it out. Oh, nope, back here, Mark Thomas, Adam Chambers. And there goes Mark Thomas. That's gone. Oh, boy. Alex Tanker's in it. McLeod is spun around. And more drivers involved here. Oh, look out, look out, look out. They're 4 wide trying to get by the Mark Thomas machine. Good heavens. Damage to the back. Oh, Charles Jackson just got dumped by Joshua Michaels. Dougie Shears is slow. And Bob Jones is the current leader. Battle on for second. Sean Galligan looking underneath Pichu London. We're under the caution flag. Several drivers involved, a couple of which were inside the top 10 in points, I noticed. McLeod got spun around. Chris Dalton had damage, and Charles Jackson, we saw, got dumped. Oh, Eddie Timmons! Holy cow! What a rookie move there, but almost didn't pay off. That was close. Shoving Pichu London there, and they almost spun around, and now they're going to come here into this hard right-hander. This final corner, and a lot of drivers get good runs through here. Look at Andy Timmons trying to go for second place now off of Sean Galligan. London lost a lot of ground, but it doesn't matter. Bob Jones is going to be the leader. Galligan and Timmons drag race, and Galligan's going to get second place. Timmons will be third. Alex May fourth, and Pichu London will be in fifth. See if anybody else was involved in any of those wrecks. Oh yeah, Alex DeMarco was involved there in the 27. There is Charles Jackson in the 42. 7th in points coming into today's race, and his day may be over. Gotta wait for them to come out from behind the grandstands to know if Dougie Shears has any damage or not. Oh yeah, he does too. Oh my goodness. That's 5th in points right there. Dougie Shears in the 21. Cody Lamas, our winner from Nazareth, has some pretty extensive front end damage. Jacob Lawler's got damage. So does Tyson Broad, who actually won our last event in the Mobile Cup Series at a road course. And there's also the William Duncan machine. We were talking about him. 14th in points, trying to work his way into the top 10. Don LaPrade, the teammate of Cody Lamas, has got some damage. Navarrete may be damaged. Daniel Day's got a whole bunch of damage. There's Jacob Lawler. He's damaged. Mark Thomas, we saw spin out. He's obviously got damage. James McLeod was involved. And everybody else. Oh, nope. Danny Wells, last week's winner, and Alex Tanker have damage as well. So we had more than one incident take place, no doubt about that. We're going to take a look and see what happened. We're under the caution flag on the very first lap of this race. Bob Jones, the pole sitter, is out in front. Well, it certainly didn't take long for them to start getting a little antsy here. They'll go 3 wide about, well, I'd say 4 rows back. They're actually 4 wide back there with DeMarco, Tanker, and Dunham. And there you see it. They all just start getting into each other and spinning each other out. There's the hard hit for Alex Tanker there in the 29. Danny Wells, he runs into the back of the Mark Thomas machine. There's James McLeod back there. William Duncan, nowhere to go. Max Russell, who actually won the Infineon race that we were last at, our first road course race. He's involved. There's Dougie Shears turned around. Daniel Day got a piece of Dougie Shears. That's how he got his damage. Oh, man, Nick Bellardo narrowly missing the 21. Cody Lamas looks like he's going to get through it as well. But where is Charles Jackson? Because I saw him get dumped. Okay, there's Charles in the 42. If we can get to him. There we go. And yeah, he's just going to get hooked up by Joshua Michaels. And hard into the outside retaining wall there for the 42. He was just trying to get through that wreck. Now there was something else that happened further up here. And I'm not sure who it exactly started with. I think it was back behind here. I think we'd have to look somewhere around Dougie Shears, maybe? No, let's look at Alex DeMarco. And Daniel Day. This may be where it starts. But some kind of wreck is triggered heading into this right-hander here. Yep, right there. Dun LaPrade hooks around the 27. Down into Daniel Day, and there's where Chris Dalton's going to get held up behind this. And then they're going to come sliding right back up into LaPrade again, then up into Navarrete. And then Dougie Shears is going to plow the 27. There's where Cody Lamas got involved, ran into the back of Dougie Shears. And the 27 car actually went up and onto his roof. Oh, flips over one time there too. Does he actually land on his wheels though? Oh, gonna do another barrel roll. And then finally gonna come to rest on all four wheels after a little shove there. A little assist from Cody Lamas, but oh my goodness. Very seldom do we see cars and trucks flip at road courses, but that must have been a pretty violent hit, or else it was just the right angle, and that caused the 27 to flip over. So a lot of drivers are damaged after two incidents that took place here. One in one of the very first corners, and then this one on that rather speedy Zen-Joltis-like left-hander, or right-hander rather. And that's what puts us under the caution for the first time today. We're going to have some DNFers already here at Champs-Elysees. Let's head back to green. We're getting ready to go back to green flag racing here at Champs-Elysees. Sean Galligan is currently the leader now because of some pit strategy on the part of pole sitter Bob Jones. He decided to come down pit road under that caution. So Galligan will restart as the leader. Timmons in second. Alex May third. Pichu London fourth. Fifth place will be Brian James. Noah Hart is in sixth. Seventh place Sean Henley. Eighth Stephen Paul the third. Ninth Adam Chambers. And 10th is going to be Zach Rogers. So quite interesting strategy there on the part of Bob Jones, deciding to come down pit road under that first caution. So maybe if he can make it the rest of the way, that could play into his favor. A little short pitting maybe going on the part of the 11. Green flag's out. And apparently Bob Jones not thinking track position is as important as getting that fuel and tires. As the battle's on for the lead, Andy Timmons looking down low on Galligan. Now Galligan's going to try and get a run off with this corner and draw back alongside, but Timmons may have him cleared. He does indeed. Andy Timmons to the top spot as we document now on the drivers that have retired from this race. Cody Lamas, Dougie Shears, Alex DeMarco, and Charles Jackson, they have taken their trucks back behind the wall as Timmons is about to get a challenge again. Galligan wants back for the lead. Now we know that Brian James has been able to work his way up now to the fourth position after getting around Pichu London. Where is Trent Dunham? Now Trent's trying to run down Brian James for the points lead, and oh no, they got a wreck back there. McLeod just piled into the wall. That may bring out a caution as Trent's currently running in the 19th position. But where is McLeod? McLeod just really hit that wall a ton. There he is. It's about to get bypassed there by Nick Bellardo. Looks like nobody else was involved there. Andy Timmons coming around the grandstands here. And oh boy, Galligan's there, and a shove from Alex May in the final corner. And Galligan's going to get around. Look at him, 3 wide for a second coming to the line. May, Timmons, and Brian James. Oh, Alex May just barely got him. What a photo finish that would have been for the win. And Sean Galligan's back out in front now. And we know James McLeod was involved. Looks like Daniel Day may have gotten a piece of it with Tyson Broad. I don't know. Those may have been damaged cars from the earlier incident. Jacob Lawler. There's Alex Tanker. There's Bob Jones back here. He's worked his way back up to 22nd place after crossing the stripe there. Trent Dunham lost ground. He dropped back to 25th. I don't know what happened to him. But the caution flag is out. Let's look back and see what happened to 3-time winner and third in points, James McLeod in the 30. Now let's see what happened here. It's kind of like a blockade here with all these slower drivers there. You got Tanker, you got Tyson Broad, you've got Daniel Day. And, oh, Lawler just kind of slid up in the corner, slides up into the right rear of the 30. And McLeod straight down and into the wall, and Lawler gets a piece of it. Look at Dunlap Pratt turn a hard left hand to be able to avoid the 51. Nice miss there, but man, McLeod took a hard lick. And these aren't exactly safer barriers. These are rather hard impact guardrails. And that's a tough hit there for the 30. Not only there on the track, but also in the point stage. James McLeod, who started off the season really, really well with back-to-back-to-back victories, now ends up finding himself in a bit of a trouble spot right now. Bit of a slump, if you will. As he came in third in points, he'll probably drop a few more spots in the standings. Now, McLeod may definitely have a wild card spot locked up in the chase, but he obviously would like to continue the momentum he had at the first half of the season here in the second half of the season. And right now, it doesn't look like things are going his way, as he had a dismal race last week at Darlington, and it continues here at the road course of Champs-Elysees. Let's go back to green now, as Sean Galligan is out in front. We'll go back to green flag racing now. Sean Galligan out in front. We'll go back to green on lap 7 of 18. That should give us a total of 12 to go. Galligan leads. Alex May second. Andy Timmons third. Then it's Brian James Peachulin in the top 5. Noah Hart, Sean Henley, Stephen Pollard the third, Adam Chambers, and Charles Samper complete the top 10 as we go back to green flag racing now here on lap number 7. See how races are going to get here. We've already had 2 caution flags. The first one for 2 big incidents that took place here in the beginning part of this course. And then the second one coming out for basically a 2-car incident involving James McLeod and Jacob Lawler. McLeod, of course, getting the worst of that. And Galligan's going to pull away right now. He got himself a great restart, got himself through those first 2 or 3 turns very well. And he's going to wave goodbye to the field for now. Sean Galligan, of course, trying to get some redemption for last week at Darlington when he had a huge lead over the rest of the field and had to come down with about 5 laps to go and make a pit stop. It ended up having him finish way down in the running order, and he was mighty disappointed about that, and I guess he's looking for a little bit of sweet redemption here today with his first victory of the season at Champs-Elysees. Good battle back here between some rookies. For the second position, Alex May and Andy Timmons, and then you got Pichu London and the points leader, Brian James, is up in the mix here too. The 15 truck comes in 14 points ahead of Trent Dunham, currently running very well inside the top 10, and he's going to go looking for third place, maybe even second here, as they come into that hard right-hander. Noah Hart there in the 16. He ended up almost making the All-Star race. He ended up finishing third place to Tyson Broad in the Oreo Truck Series Open. And I just messed up. Gotta go to this camera view. Boy, it's just good battling here for second. How about Alex May? Good run for him here. Very limited experience in the Truck Series, and good qualifying spot has kept him up front all day long. Pichu London, same thing there. He ended up starting on the pole for the Darlington race last week. I think he ended up finishing fairly well too, if I recall. And right now running very well at the Champs-Elysees road course. Pichu London is pretty well known for his road course racing, actually, and so not that much of a surprise to see him running pretty well here today. Got another driver back there we haven't talked about, and he's been inside the top 10 for a majority of today's race. That's the 88 of Sean Henley. Now, Henley comes in 11th in the point standings, and with where he's running right now, I would say with the hardships we've seen taken by Charles Jackson, Dougie Shears, and a few others, we could definitely see Henley, if he finishes where he is or picks up a few more spots, inside the top 10 in points in the Truck Series. Now, out of all 3 series, I would have to say that the Truck Series is not exactly Sean Henley's strong point. So to see him running really well this season is amazing, and especially in that 88 ride, which we remember last season, especially with Barney Ward, really had one of the worst seasons ever of any ride that I can remember. And so Sean Henley bringing new life into that 88 and running very, very well. Another driver back here running well is Adam Chambers, and this guy really has needed some good luck coming his way lately. Currently 22nd in the point standings, trying to make his 5th out of 6 seasons chase for the championship. His streak ended last season when he failed to make the championship run. He had 4 straight Oreo Truck Series chases that he had made. He'd love to be able to get back into the chase here this season, driving that 09, as now he's getting passed by James Silverfox. How about the 4? Nice run for him, currently in 11th place. Seems to be the only one of the Turner Motorsports cars that's actually up here at the front, and Silverfox has been turning the heat up a little bit lately after a very dismal start to the season. He's 35th in points, but good run today. Who knows, he could shoot right up through the standings. There's Max Russell. We definitely need to keep an eye on him. He was listed as one of the favorites coming into today's race due to the fact that the last time we were at a road course, Max Russell won the race, and that was at Infineon. Max Russell currently running now up inside, I believe he's almost to the top 10. Currently, I think, in 12th place is where he is. And he's having a very good day again here at yet another road course. Just ahead of him, Charles Samfer, who has been falling off the pace as of late. Had a good start to the season and now finds himself 27th in points. He's having a nice run here today as well at this road course. Just up ahead there, Zach Rogers. A couple weeks ago, he picked up his first career victory in the Oreo Truck Series, winning at Raceway. Currently running very well right now in the 8th position. And he's done a good job adapting to that 33 car. Oh, I think Sanford just spun it! Yes, he did. He just spun right off the first corner. And what a tough break for the 45. Look out. Oh, he's going to come right back up into traffic. Nearly got hit by Lawler. Nearly got hit by Tanker. Somehow, some way they keep it together though, as Galligan has not relinquished the lead this whole time, and this lead is, or not this lead, but these laps are starting to tick away. There'll be 8 to go when we hit the stripe next time by. Alex May currently is in second. Brian James, the points leader, has worked his way now up to third place. Now, we know Brian James is running very well. How about Trent Dunham? He was back around the mid-20s on that last restart, and it don't look like he's made up any ground whatsoever. Currently in 27th place, we find the one, and the guy that came in 4th in points, Dylan Poteet, not doing much better, currently in 29th place. So with Trent and Dylan running back here, McLeod and Dougie Shears out of the race, Brian James is in the catbird seat to maybe extend his points lead just a least little bit more, heading into next week at Daytona. Battle on for the lead. Alex May got a good run off that final corner. Drag racing with Sean Galligan there. I think Galligan did get him at the line, but they are still side by side for the top spot. And look at Brian James pushing the 2 car there through that corner. Little bit of bump drafting at a road course. Okay, guess we've seen it all. And Sean Galligan back out in front. Brian James picks up another spot now, slipping by Alex May. Andy Timmons still very much in this there in 4th. And Noah Hart has now been able to get by Pichu London for 5th. As a matter of fact, Henley now moved by for 6th. And there's a big gap back here now to London, Zach Rogers, Chambers, Silver Fox, and Max Russell. I don't know what happened to them. And also back here, currently in 12th place, is our All-Star race winner, Stephen Pollard III. And how about Bob Jones? Remember he used that pit strategy to come down pit road on that very first caution? Lost quite a bit of track position. He's made it up pretty well. 14th place now is where the pole sitter is running. Keep your eyes on Bob Jones here. If these other drivers have to pit, Bob Jones could be in a perfect position right now. He's running up inside the top 15. Looking pretty doggone good. And I'm pretty sure we could safely say he's good to go on fuel. I don't think they would have come down pit road that early, giving up that much track position, if they didn't know that he'd be able to make it the rest of the way on that 1 tank of fuel. Field is spread out a little bit, and new leader, Brian James in the 15, has gone to the front. The points leader, now the race leader. Whoa, Galligan got a little squirrely off that corner, nearly spun around like Sanford did. Now Alex May into second, Galligan back to third, 4th place Andy Timmons, and Noah Hart still running, I believe, in the 5th position. There's Sean Henley in 6th, and then there's the gap back to Zach Rogers, Pichu London and company. So now we have to ask the question, as when they hit the stripe, there'll be a total of 6 more to go. When will these drivers have to pit? We know Bob Jones came down pit road already. I don't think anybody else came down pit road with him, but when are these leaders going to have to pit? Or are they going to try and stretch it? I don't know. Alex May all over the back bumper there. Toyota looking pretty strong here up at the front. Running 1st, 2nd, and, well, actually now in a battle for 3rd. I was going to say 4th place, but Andy Timmons now looking at the inside line of Sean Galligan as Alex May's looking at the inside line of Brian James. This is going to be a good battle coming out of this corner here. See if Brian's going to be able to get the run coming out of here. Nope. Alex May's going to clear him for the first time today. Alex May in the 15 is the race leader. Oh, but for how long? Look at that. Brian James, nice crossover move coming out of that corner. Back to the inside of the 18. Brian James has been around a while here, and he knows all the tricks of the trade, and he's going to bypass Alex May and get the lead back. Maybe a little rookie mistake there by Alex May, not blocking that inside line. Brian James utilizing it to his advantage, and he slipped right by for the lead again. See if Trent Dunham and Dylan Poteet have made up any ground whatsoever. They were back in 25th and 27th. Trent Dunham, he's still running in 25th place. Dylan Poteet still running in the 27th position. They have made up absolutely 0 ground whatsoever. So that's not good for either of them if they're going to try and catch up to Brian James for the points lead, because Brian James is currently the leader of this race. Keep in mind, too, Brian James has not won this season, and if he does win, that's 5 extra bonus points as well that he's going to get in the championship points. So right now, things I don't think could be going any better for the 15 car. Don't want to jinx him, though. As They're going to come around. They're going to hit the stripe. We're going to have 5 laps to go. And right now, you're basically looking at the drivers that are going to sell this thing out, I think, if pit stops don't come into play. Brian James, Alex May, Andy Timmons, Sean Galligan, Noah Hart, and Sean Henley. That looks like the drivers that are going to pretty much settle this thing out. As there was a good battle there for second. Andy Timmons, though, got really loose off that corner. He almost spun it around. There had a lot of drivers having trouble there, and I think that's due to what happened on the very first lap of this race when they were going 3 wide, 4 wide. I'm sure a few drivers had to go through the terrain there. They ended up going off the track, and then when they come back on the track, they carry a lot of dirt and dust with them, and that makes it awfully slick for these drivers when they're turning their car to the left there. The car wants to slide out from underneath them, and we've seen Galligan have to fight that. Timmons just a moment ago had to fight it. As the top 6 right now are single file, and they are long gone from 7th place. So this could be the 6 drivers are going to battle it out, unless Pichu London, Chambers, Russell, Rogers, Silver Fox, unless they can work some kind of magic and get up there. Right now at a road course, I'll tell you, out of all the tracks there are, a road course is the hardest place to be able to make up ground on the rest of whoever you're trying to chase down. And Brian James, he has not relinquished the lead at all. Here they are. They're going to try, though. Alex May, bump and run. Andy Timmons makes contact. And the battle will continue for second behind Brian James. So Brian James getting away lucky there. Alex May was trying to utilize the bump and run to get underneath them. Maybe that would have been a 3-wide situation, but Brian James able to hold on, and we've got a total of 4 laps to go. 3 when they hit the stripe next time by. You gotta wonder, does Noah Hart or Sean Henley, either of those drivers, have anything for these guys up front? We haven't really seen them yet move up past 4th place. They've been running 5th and 6th for a majority of this green flag segment. Not really been challenging for any spot inside the top 3. That may end up changing very soon, though. We're going to find out very soon because time is running out. Brian James, Alex May, Andy Timmons, Galligan, Noah Hart, and Sean Henley. Timmons just got shoved. Holy cow. I don't know if he got hit from behind by Galligan or if he all of a sudden wiggled. I don't know what the case was, but his car kind of shot to the right. He was able to gather it back up. Good save by the 23, but that was awfully close. See if Alex May has any thoughts for the lead on Brian James. Again, utilizing the bump and run, but can't quite get to the inside. Now he gets there. Gets alongside the right rear, but cannot make the pass. I think Alex May is having a little rookie mistake there. You cannot really do the bump and run and expect to pass that race car in the turn. You got to drive it in hard there and slide up in front of the car you're trying to pass. Apparently, Alex May's crew chief has not told him that yet. And whoa, where did Henley go? Wow, Henley lost some ground there. Now there's a gap between himself and the lead pack there, which is now dwindled down to 5 cars, and then it's a gap back to 6th place, Pichu London. So now, with only 3 laps remaining, a little under 3 laps now, 5 cars are left to battle this out. I wonder what happened to Henley. Did he end up wiggling in that first or second corner there? Maybe get into that sand that was kicked up onto the racetrack? I don't know. Whatever the case, though, he has lost touch, and I don't think he'll be able to make that ground back up and get back up here to battle for a spot inside the top 5. Best battle right now is going on for 4th place. Sean Galligan has it. Noah Hart wants it. Gets a nice run out of that corner. But wait a minute. 3 drivers nose to tail. Brian James, Andy Timmons, Alex May. Will somebody move to the inside now? They can't use the bump and run, but they're going to try it again anyway. And they're going to go 3 wide for the lead. Timmons looking underneath. Can't do it. Alex May gets alongside of him. Battle continues to rage for second. With 2 to go, Brian James, he has got to be driving out of that rearview mirror more than he's looking out the front windshield, I'll bet. Brian James comes in as the points leader after a good run last week at Darlington. However, he is winless this season. He'd love to be able to extend his points lead and pick up his first win of the season here. Can he do it, though? Andy Timmons, Alex May, they've tried, have not succeeded, but it's still got an opportunity. They're going to have 2 more shots at Brian James in that final corner, and now Alex May has fallen off. He's now fallen all the way back to 4th. Galligan now moving back up to third place. Maybe a little bit of a renewance of life in that Blue Deuce. We may not have heard the last of him. Andy Timmons, though, closing in. Timmons would love to be able to pick up his second win of the season, maybe have himself in contention for a wild card spot if he does fall further in the standings. And look at this, look at this, look at this. He's getting the run to the inside. He is there, and he's going to get alongside of him. This is going to be a perfect opportunity for him heading into this final corner. Andy Timmons cannot mess this up. This may be his only shot. Can he get the run here coming into the final turn? Look at Galligan and Alex May getting a good run here too. Here they come. Timmons, he's going to clear Brian James. Oh, Brian gets the run up the corner though, and they're still side by side. Brian James looking down low still, side by side with Andy Timmons. They'll have the preferred line going into this corner. Timmons trying to hang tough. Can Timmons draw even back alongside? Oh, he's trying, but I think Brian James has got him cleared, so Andy Timmons is going to have to try again one more time. Now, when that move was made, Andy Timmons was ahead of Brian James at the line. If he can do the exact same thing this lap that he did last lap, Andy Timmons will get Brian James to the line probably again and end up picking up the win. So Brian James is definitely going to be trying to throw blocks here and there and everywhere all along this road course. Galligan, though, he's right up here in the mix as well. 5 trucks going to settle this thing out. It may be the top 3 who will be settling this out, as there's about a car length or 2 gap between Galligan and Alex May, 3rd and 4th place. Here's where Timmons made his move last time, but Galligan's going to make the move to the inside of Timmons. That may have just done it for Brian James. However, Galligan, he could get the run out of the final corner here. Let's see. Will Galligan drive it in deep? Here we go. Brian James, Timmons, Galligan, into the final corner. Here comes Galligan. Big run into the corner. He's going to try and get into the throttle sooner than Brian James. Out of the final corner, drag race. Brian James gets away, and Brian James, by half a truck length, is going to win the Wikipedia 255 at Champs-Elysees, his first win of the season, and he will extend his points lead even more. Galligan, what an attempt there by the Blue Deuce. Drove it in hard, drove it out hard, just couldn't quite do it. Brian James was able to get into the throttle a little bit sooner than Sean Galligan was, and was able to get him at the line 8/100ths of a second. A photo finish here at a road course. How about that? What a great race right there. And how about Brian James? If he ever needed a momentum booster, couldn't have been a better time. Comes in as the points leader. All the drivers who came in 1st through 7th in points having hard luck here today, whether it be running near the back of the pack or getting involved in early wrecks. So Brian James, his points lead is just going to definitely extend over the rest of the field heading to next week, which could also have been some strategy there. I mean, next week we're heading to Daytona. They may use that as a wild card race, and the win here today is definitely going to help them if they do have some hard luck next week at Daytona. Take a look at the rest of the top 10. Sean Galligan trying to get some redemption for last week. Almost did it, but he'll get a runner-up spot. Good run for him. Andy Timmons, highest finishing rookie. He's going to get 3rd. 4th place was Alex May. Both those drivers did really well today. Noah Hart also very good run for the 16 as he'll finish the day in the 5th position. So good run for those 3 rookies. You got Sean Henley. He finishes the day in 6th. He'll probably move inside the top 10 in points. Now Pichu London, another great run for the 13 and 7th. Zach Rogers going to get 8th place. Max Russell, he's got now 2 straight top 10s and 2 straight road course starts. So he gets 9th. And where did Eric Burton come from? He's going to finish the day in 10th place. What a nice run for that 8 car. Let's see where Trent Dunham, Dylan Pote officially finished this race. Now, how about Bob Jones? Started on the pole, had to come down pit road. They may have actually had some kind of mechanical problem. I don't know, but he finished 11th place. What a great comeback for him. But Trent Dunham finished today's race officially in 22nd. Dylan Pote in 25th. So they picked up about 2 or 3 spots there on that green flag run, but definitely not enough to get them up there and contend for the points lead. And then, of course, those drivers that had hard luck. James McLeod, who came in 3rd in points, wrecked out of the race in 36th place. Dougie Shears, who came in 5th in points, out of the race in 40th. And Charles Jackson came in 7th in points in 42nd. Where did Chris Dalton finish? 31st. So, yeah, no driver that came in behind Brian James in the point standings from 2nd on down through 7th finished any better than 22nd place. That's going to tell you just how much of a points extension Brian James is going to have over the rest of the field. But this race is over, and congratulations to Brian James on his first victory of the season in the Oreo Truck Series. Hope you guys enjoyed this race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. Next week, these drivers head to the restricted plate track of Daytona International Speedway, our second stop at the Great American Racetrack, the home of the Daytona 500. But we got to finish up our Champs-Elysees road course race weekend here with the running of the Mobile and the Snickers Cup Series events. Hope you'll tune in for those. Here comes your official results, overall point standings, and rookie points heading into next week as you've been watching production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.